Well, well, well. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Carolina Panther fans from around the world. Welcome to another live Carolina Panthers talk here on the YouTube, the Tube, and the Left Facebook. I am Blitzball champ Jason Ingram coming at you. Well, I'm on a little earlier than usual, but wanted to go ahead and get this in as I have an engagement in a couple hours. So, yeah, week 15. The Carolina Panthers back at home will face the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons, for the second time this season. Of course, they lost the first meeting, which was the first game of the season back in week 1. They lost that matchup by a final score of 24-10. And here we are once again, round 2. Right now, there is a three-way tie in the NFC South between the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Saints. All three of those teams 6-7. And of course, there we are at the bottom still with a measly 1-12 record. Yeah. Not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. It just This has been a rough season. This has been a very rough season for the Carolina Panthers, the entire organization. And at this point, it's just really come down to, I guess, getting through these final 4 games and just going from there. Anyways, hope everybody's doing well. It is Thursday, December 14th, 2023. Hope everybody's week has been good. But yeah, it's been pretty chill so far. It's been pretty chill. The year is almost over. But yeah, I am doing well. Hope y'all are too. Now, let's get started and talk about this matchup. Falcons 6-7, Panthers 1-12. This is a home game. ESPN Matchup Predictor has the Falcons with a 66.5% chance of winning and the Panthers a 33.2% chance of winning. Yeah. Super Trebo, welcome to the stream. Says, sup, Jason. You know we losing this week. It's Falcons' annual sweep Panthers year. They seem to sweep the Panthers a lot more than anyone else in the division. It's sad. Honestly, bro, we're about to get swept by all 3 teams in this division. Are you kidding me? We're going to get swept by all 3. Bucks, Saints, and Panthers, and Falcons. We just got swept by the Saints. Shoot. You talk about the Falcons. We just got swept by the Saints. We're probably going to get swept by all 3 teams. Shoot. I'm just saying. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, you know,
What is
you know, it's,
going on?
oh, hey. What's good with you?
Welcome. We are live on my stream as well.
Ah, cool.
Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out my Keep Pounding Facebook group page for in game posts, opinions, polls, and reactions to NFL news, as well as scheduling for the channel and information on the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. Let's get into it.
Yes, indeed. Can you hear me just fine?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool deal. I hear you as well. Um, yeah, just got started. Yeah, the ESPN matchup predictor, of course, has the Falcons 66.5% chance of winning, 33.2% chance the Panthers. Um, what's really interesting is both quarterbacks, Desmond Ritter and Bryce Young, have similar stats.
Mm,
Uh, Desmond Ritter so far has 212 of 334, 2,376 yards, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Bryce Young is 244 of 417, 2,192 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. So very similar. Very similar numbers. Of course, Bryce has been sacked 48 times. Let's see, how many times has Desmond Ritter been sacked? He has been sacked 31 times. But yeah, both have similar stats.
mm.
Thoughts about that?
Well, one quarterback is just one person on the team. You got 52 other players.
Right.
So, with that being said, we don't have the offensive capabilities that the Falcons do. We don't have a system that works, and our play calling sucks
Yep.
in comparison to Atlanta's. They've got weapons, but their weapons fit their system. That's the difference. And that's where Atlanta's going to get us. So I don't know. Lot Poppy says you need to react to those 4 clips I sent in Facebook, filled with crazy information. Which 4 links? Which ones are you talking about, buddy? I've been hearing about those 4 links all week. I don't know which ones you're talking about.
Let's see the injury report. Well, let's look at the Falcons.
Also, we're wearing black helmets this week.
Yes, that has been confirmed. I did hear about that, so that's pretty cool. Uh,
Excited to see that. Last time was against the Falcons, actually in Charlotte, and we won that game. I was actually there.
wasn't that a Thursday nighter?
It was indeed.
Yeah, that's right. Because I remember
Mhm.
PJ Walker was the starter.
Oh, it says they're pending. Oh, okay. I see. I see. It's in moderation. Okay, let's
Um,
see. Uh, proof.
so looking at
Got
the Falcons injury report. I mean,
okay. I see him now.
um, okay, well they still got a handful of folks on injured reserve. Notable names like Grady Jarrett still on injured reserve. Uh,
Oh,
let's
wow.
see, defensive tackle Eddie Goldman is out.
I have not
Uh,
actually gotten to see it yet. Uh, one moment. I will pull that up
Kentavious Street, defensive
for
tackle. He
everybody's mind.
he is ruled out as well. Um, guard Chris Lindstrom is questionable. David Onyemata is questionable. They don't seem to have
Let me
much
put this
on
up
the injury
on screen.
report for the offense. I mean, a couple of bodies that are questionable, but yeah, other than just no Grady Jarrett, uh, David Onyemata, Chris Lindstrom are
There you go.
questionable. No Kentavious Street. So defense might be a little bit affected, but not much, if you ask
Let's
me.
see what we got here. Bunch of unspecifieds on the Panthers main website. We still got a Friday practice to go here.
Yeah.
And also, I heard our coach Chris Tipor decided to give our guys a day off on Monday.
Yes, that is true.
So they studied film on Tuesday, and then they came out and practiced on Wednesday. So we had a series of players that didn't practice. It's Brian Burns, Hayden Hurst, Deshaun Jameson, Justin McCray, Taylor Moton, Ian Thomas that did not practice on Wednesday. Uh, Hayden Hurst continuously did not practice because of the concussion. Jameson is still out on illness. Justin McCray still out on the calf injury. And Ian Thomas still out on the ankle. So none of those four practiced on Thursday. Then you got Barno, Sam Franklin down here with an illness as well. Oh boy. And Jamie Robinson now on the list with a finger injury. Limited practice.
Yeah.
Oh my. And you got Johnny Hecker now added to that with the right shin injury from that huge, humongous hit that he took because our special teams guy didn't protect him back there in the backfield.
Yeah.
But he practiced full practice throughout the week, so that's good. That's
Uh,
encouraging news.
Super Trebo says the all-time record Panthers beat Falcons against Falcons is absolutely pathetic and sad. Complete ownage. Panthers have not swept Falcons since 2013. You also got to remember a lot of those losses have been on the road. I mean, we're 8-21 against them on the road, Super Trebo, and not to mention, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think the last time the Falcons swept Carolina, which they did do it back to back in 2018 and 2019. But I mean, it's been a little while since they swept us. But I mean, you
Right.
gotta think a lot of those losses were on the road. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but that's nothing new. We have trouble playing Atlanta in Atlanta. I mean, that's always been the case.
Yep, we have a horrible record against Atlanta in the dome. We have a horrible record against the Saints in the dome. That's just a fact. We always end up splitting with these two.
Yeah, this
I'll
is
get to
true.
those videos in a minute, Lock Poppy. Appreciate you putting them out there. I just posted them to the page, so accepted them and put them up there. Uh,
But
there's two.
if you ask me, bro, I think they should shut down Hayden Hurst for the rest of the season.
I agree. That concussion is nothing to play around with.
Yeah, and not only that, having that PTA, like there's really no point in having him continue to play if he has all of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think they should shut him down. Just don't let him play another snap. His
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you ask me, I'm not expecting him to come back. But that's just me. Anything can happen, but I'm not expecting him to come back this season. But
Uh, let's see that injury list for the Falcons. We got an offensive tackle that didn't practice all week. That's Caleb McGarry. Um, I don't know much about him. We got Contavious Street, the
yeah,
defensive end that did not practice throughout the week so far.
yeah, they don't have a lot of big names on the list.
Chris Lindstrom, I actually do recognize the guard.
Yes, yes. He also used to play for the Rams.
Yep, Jake Matthews, I recognize that name as well. The rest I don't recognize. Oh, Jeff Okuda. Yeah, I recognize him too.
Yeah, their cornerback.
Just trying to kill a gnat. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, nobody I really recognize, but it's mostly not in areas of major concern.
Hmm. Yep, you are correct.
But I mean, regardless of what Atlanta does in this game, that's still not going to help them. You know, even if they somehow win the division, they're gonna lose to Dallas in the first round.
Oh yeah, regardless of who makes it out of the NFC South, I don't expect them to go far at all.
Right. They will be gone in the first round.
So they might as well just, get ready to just accept their divisional title and just be done with it.
Yeah. My thing is Dallas is going to go into the second round and then they're going to lose because they don't
Yeah,
have enough firepower to last all four quarters with the Detroit Lions, with Philadelphia, and
right.
San Francisco. So I don't see them going any further. So it's going to be those three. And I see San Fran and Philadelphia in the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
And and Philly is going to remember that big loss that they just took to San Fran.
right.
They're going to remember that, and it's going to come back on San Fran. Watch and see what I'm telling you.
Now, do you think there's a chance Dallas could make it to the NFC Championship?
Um, if they surprise the Lions, they could make it to um the next round. It depends on if San Fran and Philly play each other before that happens.
I see.
If that should happen, then maybe.
And then it is a tight race for the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is far from being done yet.
So, so these rankings, which they don't have like the main ones up on Panthers.com, so I had to go to NFL.com, but
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty nasty. I mean, they have our offense ranked 30th, defense ranked 4th, um, passing ranked 31st, rushing ranked 21st. Um, for the Falcons, offense ranked 15th, defense ranked 11th, passing ranked 21st, rushing ranked 6th, which they've got quite a combo uh, in the run game with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, don't forget about Cordell Patterson as well, who's active. But yeah, they got a run game. Um, Interesting comment from Super Trebo, and I did hear about this. He said, "Did you hear about the Panthers tickets might be as low as 48 cents upper stands? Sad times. It'd be different if I had college football team look forward to it, but I'm a Tar Heels fan, nothing to look forward to."
I
Um,
did see where it was $5 to $10. Yes.
but that was on like a
I
third.
don't know if the 48 cents one is real though. I know that the $5 to $10 one is real though.
Weren't those on third party sites though?
Possibly. Possibly. I know that our tickets are extremely low cost, for that game.
Yeah,
So,
me personally, I don't trust third party sites. I mean, I usually try to
yeah,
go through Ticketmaster or through the team site.
right.
So I don't know. I mean, some of it may be legit, like the Seat
Mm,
Geeks and the FanDuels and all that, but I don't
yeah.
know. I just feel iffy about third party sites.
Yeah. There's a lot of fake tickets out there too, so you want to be careful about that.
Right.
Lock Puppy says I'm going to the Packers game on Christmas Eve.
Ooh, it's gonna be
Just for fun.
cold. It's gonna be
You
cold.
brave man. You brave man.
You
You're
might
gonna see a loss. I'm telling you right now.
probably gonna see a lot of green and yellow,
Oh yeah.
but which I don't even remember the last time we beat Green Bay. It was probably when we had Cam. I think it was when we had Cam.
Quite possibly. Because I
Yeah,
don't think
actually it was because it was the game where he had Clay Matthews was like, "Ooh, it's that wheel route. Oh, you've been watching film. Oh, that's cool. Watch this." And then throws the wheel route touchdown to Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Yeah. Dang, that was a
and to top it all off, I was in the stadium for this game. They were driving towards my end of the field, and I'm sitting underneath the big board, and they're inside of the 20, and Rodgers throws a pick to Thomas Davis. The entire stadium goes absolutely ballistic.
Oh yeah. The game sealing pick, right?
Yep. Aaron Rodgers goes over to the sideline and just like throws the tablet into the ground.
Oh yeah.
Still my favorite gift today. Still my favorite. And I got to see that in person. They showed it on the big video board too. And I was just laughing, just dying laughing.
It was even more impactful being that the interception was in the red zone.
Oh my goodness. They were about to save that game for themselves. But with that win, we took a 3-game NFC conference lead.
Yep, sure did.
That was a humongous game, and considering Green Bay was the best team in the NFC besides us at
Right.
the time, massive win.
Indeed,
So,
indeed. So we got issues with the run game, so we gotta, be John Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Cordell Patterson, and every
mm,
now and then Desmond Ritter will scramble. I mean, he's got,
mm, yep.
I mean, he's got 5 rushing touchdowns, so yeah.
We have our next head coach in the building, Ajaro. No, no, he's not going to stay here.
I'll be
Unless
shocked.
Tepper hires a bad head coach, and Tepper won't hire Ajaro either.
I'll be shocked if he ends up staying. I'll be very shocked.
Same, same. He was already up for a head coaching job like after there were whispers of that before the season even started.
Right. Especially with what he did with Denver.
Yeah, I could see him maybe ending up in Tennessee or Arizona
Yeah.
or Houston if Houston falls off the wagon wheels.
Now I think Houston's gonna ride D'Amico Ryan's for a hot
Yeah,
for a hot
yeah.
minute. I think they like what he's doing so far. Um, I will say about this game, one thing I do have to point out: Bryce
Mm-hmm.
Young, don't throw to Jesse Bates again, please. Please be mindful of that dude.
Oh my goodness.
Like that's my big
I,
thing.
I'm just looking through the Falcons depth chart right now, just seeing who we should watch out for. Um, yeah, Cordell Patterson's probably one of the most dangerous ones we got to watch out for.
Yeah, in the run
Like you
game as
said,
well.
Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts was not mentioned before, but Kyle Pitts is very dangerous.
Yes, him, Drake London.
Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson, if he ever gets in the game, could launch one on us. Um, could
Uh,
get one on us. Defensively, I'm looking at
Jesse
the
Bates.
Falcons just drafted Zach Harrison
Right.
recently, so AJ Terrell, of course, is the most dangerous corner out there for the Falcons. I actually
Yeah.
met him in person.
Yeah, they've really upgraded their secondary, especially after getting Jeff Okuda. They still got Richie Grant,
Yep.
Jesse Bates.
Yep.
D Alford, AJ Terrell.
Yep.
They got a monster secondary. Trey Flowers.
That is a nasty secondary. Calais Campbell.
Yep, still got Calais Campbell on the line as well as David
Mhm.
Onyemata, who is questionable, but something tells me he's going to play.
Yeah, this is an interesting secondary.
The only person they won't have is Grady Jarrett because he's on IR.
Right. This is a very interesting D line. That doesn't get much pressure normally, except for Campbell. Uh, David does every now and then too, but you won't see as much from Huggins or Arnold.
Hmm.
So, but that's
Well,
secondary. There's Trey Flowers back there too.
yes, that is correct.
Forget about him. DeMarco Helms. Yeah, this is. There's a lot of players you want to watch out for and not throw that ball near.
Yeah.
I think the most dangerous one out of all of them is AJ Terrell. That man has like a ton of pass deflections, and I know exactly who he is because he's a former Clemson corner. 6'1", 195, 4 years in the league, 23 solo tackles. Now, the number they're not showing immediately is the pass deflections. This dude's got 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 pass deflections already
Hmm.
coming into this game.
Ooh,
That's the
wow.
number I want people to pay attention to because that's what he does. He's a pass deflection machine. And if anybody happens to be in the area, that could be a pick.
Right, right.
Be aware, guys. Do not let them get those pick balls that get batted up in the air.
Super Trebo says, was it the Panthers Packers game from 2015 or the one from 2017? So the one from 2015 was the Thomas Davis pick.
Exactly.
The one from 2017 is the McCaffrey wheel route, and also the game where
Yep.
Cam threw 4 touchdowns.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Yeah, Cam went off. Cam went so off that game, and not only that, Greg Olson went over 100 yards receiving that game. Yep, sure did.
So getting back to AJ Terrell, he's got 42 career pass deflections.
Jeez.
Yeah. 236 combined tackles, 162 of those solo. So yes, he can open field tackle. He's
Yes.
also got a sack to his credit during 2021 campaign. This dude is extremely dangerous. He has had 4 forced fumbles in 2020, one in 2021. So I don't think you have to worry about forced fumbles right now, but it's those pass deflections that could lead to picks, though. He's had 4 picks, speaking of which, 3 of them in 2021, one of those in 2020.
Hmm.
But since then, he has not picked one off.
Okay, so it's
So
been
be
it's
aware
been a
he
while.
is due.
Yeah, and it could be this game, unfortunately.
I hope not. I hope not. But he has started 44 career games.
Right. Oof.
And I think that's significant.
Very much so.
Now it's his first career fumble recovery against San Francisco in Week 6 of 2022. Just an interesting stat there. I met
Oh.
this dude in person. Great human being, great player, loved him to death. I told him if you ever end up a free agent, come talk to us because we're always looking for corners. Always. Shook his hand, got his autograph, and that was that. I Ironically enough, the same day I met the fridge too.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yep, go figure, man. Yep, they were all at the Greenville Mall.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, of course, we lost the first matchup 24-10. You think it'll be similar this time around, or
Probably, I would bet on it. If
yeah?
the Saints beat us by that much, the Falcons will too. Because the Falcons and Saints are pretty much on the same level,
Yeah.
both offensively and defensively. The Saints are slightly better as they have already proven, but the Saints also have a softer schedule too.
Ah, I see.
I think the Buccaneers, once they finally start hitting some of these bigger opponents, are going to drop out. Enjoy your first place while you have it, Tampa Bay, but you won't hold it long.
Yeah, there. It's gonna. I got a feeling it's gonna come down to the final game of the season to really have the division champ for the NFC South set in stone.
Yep.
Only thing we can really do is play spoiler.
Yep.
But
Okay, so um are there any other topics you wanted to discuss, or should I just get into mine?
uh, what you got? What you got?
Okay, so um what I previously shown you in chat. Hold on. Let me take that off of the screen so I can properly display what I want to go up there. Plus we'll get the Lock Poppy stuff as well.
Now, just a FYI, the video from the last stream I got flagged.
Oh, you got flagged?
I did get
That was my
flagged.
bad. That was my bad. Yeah, that was straight from Fox. That was sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
You didn't get a warning, did you?
Uh, I did. It was just, it's just not gonna get monetized. That's all.
Okay, that's fine. You're not making money off these anyway, right?
Not intentionally.
Okay. I am so sorry about that. That was my fault. I
No,
didn't
it's all
really
good. It's all good.
know. I'm usually a lot more careful about that.
No, we good. We still rolling.
Um, let's see. Now, I sent you this information here that I want to show on stream. Check your messenger chat. That's
Uh,
where I sent it to you. It
Alrighty.
was about the hip drop tackle.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to talk about that because this has become really significant. And this website illustrates through graphics what exactly occurs when you're going through a hip drop tackle,
Uh huh.
why people want it banned. I ran
Interesting.
across this earlier today, and it can create a ending injury. And it just did on Thursday in a game between the Bengals and the Ravens. So this particular tackle has sidelined Ravens tight end Mark Andrews, who's got a cracked fibula and an ankle ligament injury after this.
Okay. I'm gonna put this up on my screen just so that everybody sees the animation of what the hip drop tackle is.
Yeah, I think this would be very, very beneficial for everybody. After catching a pass in the game's opening minutes, he had that injury. With the extent of the injuries unclear, let's talk about what this is.
This is interesting. I didn't know this was called the hip drop tackle, but interesting.
Yeah, I didn't either. I wasn't aware of that either. So, according to the animation displayed here,
Mm-hmm.
you got the defensive player approaches and wraps his arms around the offensive player
Uh-huh.
around the waist. Then he grabs him right there and drops him to the ground. And while the defensive player hangs on, his body often lands on the offensive player's legs. This makes perfect sense why people want this gone. That's crazy, dude.
So
Ooh,
with the positioning of the legs, like the defender falling on top of the legs, is that what they're pointing out?
yeah. That's what they don't like. That's what caused the injury of Mark Andrews.
Hmm.
All right, so they haven't officially banned it yet, but they're going to try to get it banned, and it's unclear what the punishment is going to be if they do it.
So I guess how can you really well, I mean, how can you really stop yourself as the tackler from falling on the opponent's legs? I mean,
That's what I'm thinking too.
because I mean,
You
the
can't
whole
really help
idea
it.
is you hit and wrap, but you don't want to let the defender go, or you don't want to
True,
let the runner go.
exactly.
So I
So,
well,
according to Rich McKay, he's saying what's happening on the hip drop is the defender is encircling, tackling the runner, and then swinging their weight and falling on either side of the leg, which is their ankle or their knee.
hmm
And according to Dr. Robert Glatter, a hip drop tackle is so dangerous. The defender essentially swings their full body weight as they fall on their ankle, leg, or knee. This leaves their lower body at risk for serious ankle and ligament damage. Oof.
I I
Okay.
guess I don't know. Like,
And they actually did show like the slow motion thing of Mark Andrews getting hurt here.
and then Logan Wilson was the one that made the tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to show it on yours, but I'll show it on mine.
Okay.
The stress from Wilson's weight caused a significant injury to Andrews' leg. Oh man. Uh
I tell you what though, this is gonna really annoy the mess out of defensive players. Let me just tell you.
yep.
I hate to
Yep.
say it.
Sure will.
I mean,
Okay, so it goes on to say there's three types of classification system down here.
hmm
Perpendicular fracture from the ankle joint caused by the inward pressure of the leg and internal rotation. That's that first one there. You can see it in red where all that stuff is.
right,
Then you got type B is another fracture at the joint caused by external rotation. And then you got type C, an angular fracture above the joint that can be classified as type 1, C1 or C2.
I see.
All right, so this is for all the medical people that probably understand this stuff better than we do. You know, um, I thought this was really fascinating. Um, Other notable injuries from hip drop tackles. Here we go. Week 4. Geno Smith suffered a knee injury during a Monday night game when Isaiah Simmons hip drop tackled him. Ironically, referees flagged Smith for a personal foul when he got into a scuffle with Simmons after that play.
Huh.
Sure.
Jeez.
Um, let's see. Cowboys running back Tari Pollard suffered a fractured leg and ankle. Was knocked out of the NFC divisional playoff game against San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also Patrick Mahomes, high ankle sprain during the AFC divisional playoff game. Recent rules created to protect players. You got the horse collar tackle, obviously. Can't do
Right.
that. Helmet to helmet. Yeah. Those are the obvious ones.
Or grabbing of the face mask.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. The face mask one can definitely injure your neck.
right.
So I agree with all three of those being legitimate ones for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're trying to limit injuries on the field, this is a great way to do it. So I support that. But you're also going to have those people out there that are like, oh, well, what is the NFL becoming? Flag football? And it's like, okay, hold your horses. Hold your horses because we're trying to prevent injuries, career ending injuries in the NFL, plus
Right.
season ending injuries. There's a difference between, a regular tackle and these. Big difference. So I want people to recognize that
Mm-hmm.
before they start talking about, oh, you're not allowed to do this or you're not allowed to do that. Why? You're limiting what um what you can do. Um,
So here's my thing. Like, yes, I totally get the idea, trying to prevent injuries, horse collar tackle, face mask tackles, um, helmet to helmet. I mean, clearly not
yeah,
cool. Clearly devastating and could result in terrible injuries. I guess my thing is now, being somebody that's played on the offensive side and the defensive side before, which by the way, I like offense more. Um, in the midst of a play, the difficulty is going to be processing at that moment. Okay, I got to tackle this guy, but I got to make sure I tackle him the right way. And I just feel that it's hard to consistently do that in the heat of the moment, being that you have this moment of, if you don't make this tackle, he's going to score. Or if you don't make this tackle, he's going to get the first down. And the moment that you get into the open and you got like a chance to make that play, like being able to do that and also think at the same time, okay, I got to make sure I don't hit him, a certain kind of way. I can
mm,
imagine that's got to be hard for defensive players. I mean, especially you got to react. It's in the game.
mm,
You got to react. So it just makes me wonder, like, how are they going to better, like, reintroduce, okay, what are the most effective, proper, and legal ways to tackle? That's going to have to be reevaluated at some point. The more that they keep piling these type of changes on, you know what I mean?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I can see both sides of it, but at this point, they're going to have to come to some sort of middle ground.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Um,
Like, what do you think? What do you think?
The players union is going to be very, very adamant about um, protecting the players, but also as far as not putting too many restrictions on the players too. So it's very tricky, to find that balance.
Exactly.
Like we've had so many fans complain about the fact that we're doing too much to protect the players. We're doing da 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 da, over the years, and like frankly, there are some areas that need to be addressed,
Hmm.
that aren't.
Quick comment from Kevin since we're talking about this. He says, "Hello. Speaking of injuries, and I believe that the NFL has gotten a little soft in some ways. Don't hit someone's helmet, of course, but most of Ray Lewis's hits would not be allowed in today's NFL. But he used perfect technique and was a great tackler. He was a hard hitter, and that was what people love watching." Yeah, yeah, I agree. And then he also says, on the other hand, though, you had dirty players like Vontez Burfict that did it with bad intentions, and in my opinion, single-handedly destroyed Antonio Brown as a person. Yeah, that's fair too. Yeah, that is fair too.
Yeah, I would agree.
But
I
I
don't really
just,
have much to add to that, but yeah, I agree.
yeah, I just think it's gonna be really it's gonna be hard because there are gonna be some folks that whatever these type of changes, even if they do make this legal, they're gonna be some pissed off players, especially on the
Mm-hmm.
defense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Who are some of the most vicious hitters this year that do that types of tackles?
that is a good question. I mean,
Because those are the ones that are going to complain the loudest.
right? Um, I mean, you gotta.
Montez Perfect, yeah, and yeah, Perfect is one of those players. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Those people are going to complain the loudest because they're saying, oh, well, you're going to soften up the league and blah 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 blah. And people forget a lot of this. Um, Troy Polamalu, there are three NFL rules set apart, just because of his types of tackles, because he was that vicious back then. And I think there might have been one for Ray Lewis as well
Uh huh.
that was created because of the way he tackled.
Yeah. Yeah. I just. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna do this. I really don't. I mean, there's still even some complaints to this day when it comes to, you know, sacking the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Right.
because you're going at somebody full force with, you make the hit, or if you overextend, I mean, you have
Right.
so much momentum, it's going to be hard to catch yourself. You know what I mean? Like, because you're trying to make the play. And that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do is, you're trying to make the play. You do your job. But
Yeah.
But I don't know, just this hip drop tackle. I mean,
It got my attention, and I was just like, wow, like something's got to be done here about the injuries in the league, but I don't know how much you want to do though.
yeah, because if they ban that, then like I said, how are you supposed to? I guess how are you supposed to tackle then? Because you have that,
Right.
plus you can't hit the quarterback a certain way. You can't
Mm-hmm.
You can't do high low. You can't do high low combos.
Right.
And you remember they got rid of the wedge on kickoff returns. They
Oh yeah.
got rid of the wedge. So it's like, you
Okay,
know,
what now?
yeah, of course, no helmet to helmet, no horse collar, no
Yeah.
face mask, which, for obvious reasons, but it's just like, dang, like, what do you do then?
Yeah. That's a little concerning to me too. And they just updated the kickoff rule too recently too. Like they knocked it back to what, the 35 now
Oh, wow.
with the touchback rule.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you've been watching games this year. You haven't noticed it?
Uh-uh. I thought it was still the 25.
Oh no, they changed that a while back.
I honestly did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, so whenever you have a touchback, it's either on the 30 or the 35. Somebody in chat confirm that, please,
Okay. Uh,
because I forget exactly what that is. I know our Poppy knows.
let's see. Kevin says, and have watched some old highlights in games and heard the commendation say, nice no fly call because it was a fair pass block. Let them play the game, especially on third down stops, but no helmet to helmet hits. Those can be avoided in the moment, in my opinion. Which I agree. Typically you should be able to avoid,
Yeah,
leading with your helmet.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, he also says
I
just a special shout out to some of the Panther players with superb tackling, and that goes to Dante Jackson, Luke Kuechly. Dante's an underrated tackler. He's crazy. I would not. I'm gonna have to disagree. Dante,
Yeah, Dante's tackling hasn't been the best. He's actually gone for like shoestring tackles and stuff like that, and it's cost him on one-on-one coverage.
yeah, I might have to disagree with you on there, Kevin. Dante, superb tackler. Nah, I'm gonna have to disagree. Um, because
But
even he's gotten broken apart when it comes to tackles.
um, what was the point I was gonna make? Let me see. Um, screen tackles.
Because he's missed a lot. He's missed a lot of tackles.
Yeah, they're gonna have to reevaluate some of the types um of tackles that you see out there. Some of these guys get flagged for things that aren't even supposed to be flagged,
Yeah,
and you'll see a lot of these helmet to helmet flags that'll just be leading with the shoulder,
right,
and you'll also see some other things that should be flagged but aren't. The referees will miss a lot of these face mask penalties sometimes, and you won't even see them because they'll be in a blink of an eye because they let go of it so quickly. But they really need to evaluate that. Um,
right.
there's some other ones too that I don't remember offhand.
Hmm.
That if I do think of them and I see them during a game, I'll bring them up during a live stream while we're watching games or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, and I'll bring them up post game if I remember them.
Hmm.
So if I do encounter that, chat, and you guys see me say something about that during an in game, remind me in chat during post game, and I'll talk about them. All right,
Right.
appreciate it, guys, because I
Um.
do want to make sure we cover everything.
Kevin says maybe on some stops, on screen tackles, maybe on some plays. Maybe that was Trey Boston I was thinking about. Dante was great in LSU and he makes some good plays, but Dante has regressed a little for his size. Thought some of his tackles were good, but could be wrong this season. I think the main thing for Dante, he just has to stay healthy. I think if he
Yeah.
stays as much as he stays healthy, the more he stays healthy, I think the more complete player he will be. But he's got
Yeah.
to stay healthy.
Agreed. And I don't think that we're focused so much on tackling this year as we are on just coverage, you know. And that's the thing. Like Ajaro's main focus is on coverage. Like every defensive coordinator will have their own perk, and they'll have
Right.
a minus to them. You know, like you see in Madden. You know, they'll have a plus and they'll have a minus.
Right.
So Ajaro's plus is coverage. His minus is that exactly. It's tackling. He'll have lower ratings. So, you put that into perspective. Yes, we have a top 10 secondary, but what about the tackle?
Yeah.
We missed a lot of tackles.
That much is true.
And the
But
D lines supposedly should be getting enough of a bull rush, and they're not. It's time to start looking at that defensive line coach and saying, what the heck is going on here? Because we got talented guys here. We got Derek Brown, we got Brian Burns. Neither one of these guys are getting through. What are you
yeah,
teaching them? Because they should be.
probably
And
Derek Brown a little more than Brian Burns, but that's not saying a whole lot.
yeah, I think if you put a counterpart to Brian Burns, like we used to have with Greg Hardy and Julius Peppers, counterpart
Right.
that balances them out, then you'll start to see a lot of that pressure balance out between the two of them. And Brian Burns will have an easier time pass rushing instead of being doubled every time.
Hmm.
Of course, they can go one on one with YGM or uh, whoever may have you on our depth chart because they know they can do that and they'll succeed and he'll be taken out of the play.
Shoot.
So
Maybe we should
eventually they're going to do that to Derek Brown too,
maybe we should see if we can
if
bar
they haven't been doing it already.
we should see if we can borrow Draymond Green.
We
Uh,
need somebody to counterpart Brian Burns, and we need it. That's if we plan on keeping Brian at the end of the year.
yeah, I have a feeling
Anything going
either
on, I don't know that he's going to be wanting to stay.
him or Frankie Louvu will get franchised.
They better franchise Brian Burns and pay Frankie Louvu.
Yeah, that's really how it should be
Yeah,
if it has to come to that.
yeah, that's got to be the way you do it.
Um, Kevin says
Uh,
tackling is really important. You see it on every Super Bowl team. In 2015, we were good at making plays. Josh Norman was at least. Seahawks
yeah,
have good tackling. We all know that. They have some good training there, especially in 2013. I think the problem with some players is they're good for the quick hit tackler and don't wrap up. It only takes one guy to make the play. Yeah, that's why you
uh,
gotta hit and wrap.
solid point.
Because I know for me, in little league, I was the small guy. So I couldn't make no big hits. The most that I could do is hit, wrap, and hold on tightly until I had help.
Yep.
Um Now with this game, I mean
We'll get to those videos in a minute, Lock.
on
Go
paper
ahead.
this is a winnable game, but even we've been losing winnable games.
True.
So
True.
I don't know, dude. I just don't have confidence that we'll win this game. I really don't.
My apologies, folks. I get calls all the time.
Oh, you good?
Part of being a YouTuber.
Yeah, you good.
Continue.
But yeah, I'm just not confident that we'll win this game. I want to be wrong so badly, but I don't think I'm going to be. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'll be wrong. But I guess I
I
guess we'll
mean,
see.
all we can really do is just bring our best and hope it's enough. You know,
Right.
at this point, we're worried about we're more concerned about the development of players than we are about trying to win meaningless games. Since we're already out of the playoffs. So we want to make sure that we know what we have on this roster, what we could lose, and you know how much value can we get for these players if we have to move them. We're not going to just get money for these players. I'm sick and tired of watching us just get money and no draft picks when we have the option to trade these guys and get nothing for them. It frustrates me.
Right.
The problem is, even if you get those picks, we have a bad head coach, hired by Tepper coming in, most likely, that will influence Scott Fitter again to go looking for a mirage instead of an actual drinkable water, and he'll get the wrong players again with it. So, realistically, who's going to want to come here anyway? As a free agent, this is not going to get better next year, folks. I
No, it's
hate to
probably gonna
say
take.
that.
It's gonna probably take a couple of years.
Yeah,
Hate to say it.
that all depends on who you hire, Mr. Tapper. It comes down to that. Uh, I guess we should address the elephant in the room. Bill Belichick is going to be let go at the end of the year. Let's
Yep.
get this over with.
That's what the word is. Yep.
Let's get this over with. I knew this topic was going to come up. Y'all know
Yeah.
how I feel about Belichick, so I'm not saying a word.
I'll just say this, like, because I know you and me, we've been beating this dead horse quite a bit within the last few
Yes,
days.
we have.
Look, y'all, we need a young head coach. We need somebody maybe late 30s, 40s, early 50s, whatnot. Look, there is no point in going after a Bill Belichick. The dude is a coach, GM, owner, all of the above. Not to
Well, not an
mention,
owner, because Robert Kraft still owns the Patriots.
I was being a little sarcastic on the owner part. Yeah,
But head
just a
coach
little
and
bit.
GM, absolutely yes.
Yeah,
Continue.
but we don't need this dude. Do y'all remember what this dude has done? Not only that, like us Panther fans, come on, let's keep it real. We did not like this guy just like we didn't like Tom Brady, just like we didn't like Adam Vinatieri. And now all of a sudden there's some folks that want this dude as our head coach. Really? Really? I mean,
How quickly we forget about that Super Bowl back in '04 and '05.
exactly. Like, come on, y'all. Are we that desperate? I
It makes me
mean,
sick to my stomach that we're even having this conversation,
like, y'all really want this
knowing who
dude.
this man is.
Y'all really want this dude. Come on now.
The
At
zebra
least
will not change his stripes. He will still be that same zebra when he comes over to the Carolina Panthers.
not to
If you hire
mention
him,
not to mention let's keep it real. Who has this dude won with? Tom Brady. Each one of those championships, Tom Brady. You remember when he coached the Browns? Eh,
if you
only
really
only
want to talk about, if you really want to talk about championships, okay, let's toss one of those out because Seattle gave you one on a silver platter
pretty
by
much.
not running Marshawn Lynch up the middle. So that's one gone. Then we want to talk about one with Deflategate, one with Spygate. So that's two more. out the window due to cheating. If you
And when
want
you
to
think
follow
about it,
that road.
and if you think about it, the Atlanta choke job, because that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. Atlanta could have kept up with them and possibly won. So I'm going to give New England that one, though. I am going to give New England that one as a successful Super Bowl. Because, you never want to let off the gas against New England. That's Atlanta's fault.
Right.
They were dumb enough to do that, so that's on them.
And it's sad too because that was the year
Yeah.
Matt Ryan won MVP.
That's what happens when you get Matt Ryan the weapons he needs and the protection he needs. I've been saying it. Arthur Blank will not do it. He would not do it when he was with the Falcons. And the Colts wouldn't give it to him either. Frank
Yep.
Wright would not give it to him. I'm sitting there like, really? You're really going to do this to Matt Ryan? He could be one of the best quarterbacks out there. He could be the next Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning out there. But no, you didn't give him protection. You didn't give him what he needed. He was averaging 2,000 yards a pop every season. That's bare minimum what he was able to pull out there every year. And that's his worst year. During that during the Super Bowl season that he went up there and took on the Patriots, he was racking up 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, but Matt Ryan is terrible. Matt Ryan is a bust. Stop it. Stop it. Now y'all know better. If that's our version of a bust these days, good God, man. Then y'all might as well call Brock Purdy a bust right now. You know, y'all might as well call uh Trevor Lawrence a bust at this point. If that's our version of a bust, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it
Like
really
I don't
is.
even want to get into that right now. Now I'm not saying that there aren't fans that hate Matt Ryan. There are.
Hmm.
And I understand your points of view. I do. He's an Atlanta Falcons quarterback. Sure.
Right.
But what has he actually done to us other than like pick apart our secondary that was already trash anyway? You know?
Yeah.
Like the dude's a beast. Let's at least admit that he has talent, that he has the skills that he has. And,
Exactly.
and people do the same thing to Cam Newton. They won't admit that he has the skills that he has. The haters. Haters gonna hate, man. That's all they do.
Yeah.
But
Not to mention, if you're able to get through a season throwing less than 10 interceptions and over 30 touchdowns, you deserve to be an MVP candidate.
facts, man. Facts. That dude was making Pro Bowl every single year. Every year. And people were like, "Oh, Matt Ryan is a boss. Matt Ryan is terrible." Man, stop. I don't want to hear no more of that Matt Ryan hate.
Not to mention completion percentage leader, passer rater leader,
Yeah.
four-time
Look at
Pro
all the
Bowler.
weapons this man had. He had Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Not to mention offensive player of the year and rookie of the year
Yeah.
and a MVP. Won
How
the
do you
MVP.
not respect that and admit that he's got skills and
Yeah.
talent,
Not to mention, won the MVP
especially
the
after 2016?
yeah, won the MVP the year after Cam won the MVP. How can you forget? Shoot.
You can't deny that they actually had that lead before they blew it, folks. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of the joke. They had the lead before they blew it. So that proves he's got the skills. That proves he could hang in that game against New England. All 4 quarters, folks.
But
Now the defense, that's on them if they blow it. But You got to be able to play 4 whole quarters with New England, and they learned the hard way that day.
Right.
You got to you got to play 4 whole quarters. They will wreck you if you don't.
Yep.
That's who New England was. Every time you go into battle with these guys, especially in Boston, you got to have a full. You're facing a six-pronged attack. First of all, you got to be healthy. You got to be executing well. You've got to actually keep your foot on the gas and keep
Yes.
performing through all 4 quarters. You got to make sure that you are not committing penalties and executing well, using the clock and time management well, and you've got to be able to make sure that you have the weaponry all the way down the roster to battle these guys.
Yes. Exactly.
Otherwise, you're in for a heck of a day, and you're not going to win in Boston. It was just impossible because you're fighting the refs, you're fighting the Patriots, you're fighting the the possibility of cheating.
Right.
You're fighting yourselves. You're fighting your injuries. That's 5 already. 5 pronged attack already that New England's got on you.
Mm.
Plus the fact that it's in Boston, you're screwed. If you don't come in there fully ready to go, you're screwed before the ball's even kicked off.
Yeah.
If New England even thinks that they look at that roster and they think that, oh, we don't measure, they don't measure up to us, you're done.
Right.
That's just how powerful that dynasty was. And the one time we beat them, and I'll tell you something surprising, and the Gettleman fans are not going to are going to love this, but the anti-Gettleman fans are going to hate this.
What you got?
Under Dave Gettleman, he has coached 2 teams now, and he has only lost once when going up against that Patriots team.
Mm.
He's only lost once. That's in Boston and at home with the Giants and the Panthers. I just want people to be aware of that. That was while he was GM. People can say what they want about Dave Gettleman, but the man was a master craftsman at beating New England. And that is no small feat.
Yeah. That much is true. I mean, shoot, look at how Cam was able to handle New England for a while.
Yeah. I
But
mean, that was after everything self destructed in Boston, though. That was after, when they picked Cam up, that was way after. That was a good 4 or 5 years after.
which is fair. Which is fair.
Yeah. So it was mainly just Belichick trying to recover his losses, which is going to take a while. The dude has amazing skills at drafting. I've never seen anybody pick up the players that he picks up in those drafts. He'll find hidden gems at 32 that you'll never even think were on the list. It's incredible. He's got a great scouting crew. And I'm just giving the man his due. I was going to say the devil is due, but that's my opinion of him.
Hmm.
Give the devil his due. He's got his skills. He's got the talent to do this stuff. He's a great head coach. I give him that. But, you know, a lot of people are questioning, is it because of the fact that he was a great coach, or was it because Tom Brady made him a better head coach than he actually was?
Right. Right.
So there is that debate going on. But if you really look at it with the number of championships he's won, you throw out all the rest of those, you got 2 legitimate championships, which is the same amount Mike Tomlin has under his tenure. And like you said before on a previous stream,
Hmm.
getting to the Super Bowl and winning it is incredibly hard.
Yep.
Incredibly hard. And to be able to do it as many times as New England did, you have to either be really, really, really talented and stacked out the wazoo for years and have a dynasty,
Right.
or you're cheating,
Yep.
or a combo of both. Because I've never seen anybody pull that off before. Seattle almost had back to back Super Bowls. Do you know how hard that is to do?
Yeah. I mean,
They were this close to having two back to back trophies. New England's done it. I don't know of any other NFL team that's pulled that off.
yeah. Denver. Of course, Denver's won back-to-back Super Bowls as well. John Elway. Um.
It's funny you say that, Damien, in the chat about Bill Belichick being the Nick Saban of the NFL.
Oh, they're
Because
good
Nick Saban.
friends.
So what?
They're good friends, right? They're tight.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because Nick Saban's actually been falling off the wagon wheels as far as national championships lately, in case people haven't noticed.
Mm.
They just dropped out of the playoffs again this year. Very interesting. I think they actually might be in this year. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody double check me on that. But yeah, the last 2 or 3 years they've been struggling with the people they've been getting because Georgia's been picking them up,
Right.
and Georgia has always had a strong backbone team, and everybody starts seeing, oh, now that this is a thing, let's go to Georgia, which is costing Bama championships
Yep.
because you knew it was just year after year after year. It was just Bama championship after championship after championship until my Clemson Tigers came along and shut them down. And I'm proud of it, baby. We got two national titles, off of these guys.
Right.
Super proud of it. And Dad was part of that Nick Saban coaching tree.
Oh, Dabo Sweeney. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He was an understudy. So I'm proud of that. Very proud of that. Alabama is in the playoffs. They're facing Michigan. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, they are. They're finally back in after 2 years of being out. So this is going to be really interesting. Let's see what happens. Um, but they're facing Harbaugh.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah. Um, and the amount of NFL talent that's coming out of Alabama, and we'll get to Harbaugh in a minute, because there is some news on Harbaugh. Um, Remind me to tell people.
Yeah. Yeah.
The NFL talent that's coming out of Alabama in the last couple of years has not measured up to everyone's standards of what they're expecting out of Bama in the last what 6, 7, 8 years. So that's why people are starting to question, Bryce Young on that aspect, on that angle.
Right.
Not so much for his size and stature and all that other mumbo jumbo that you hear every day, but the fact that Alabama talent isn't measuring up now because you're seeing wide receivers that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, running backs, what have you, coming out
Hmm.
of Bama that are just not up to par with what they used to be coming up with during that dynasty years. And credit to Nick Saban, just like Dabo Swinney, they're putting out NFL talent, guys that are ready for the NFL and ready to earn those big paychecks and ready to play for a team and make some big plays for them.
Yeah.
So
This is true.
we both of our teams have kind of fallen off a little bit, you
Right.
know. Um, as far as Clemson talent goes, I don't vouch for the offensive linemen. If any of them are going into the NFL draft, I don't vouch for any of them. But the defense, absolutely, I vouch for.
You vouch for Clemson defensive players.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
especially that front four. They are deadly dangerous. That is Clemson caliber defensive lineman.
Okay.
And that's the level of talent that Bama puts out too, typically.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
So anything you see that comes out of Clemson as quality talent, that's the same level Bama puts out.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense. Yeah.
Getting back to Harbaugh, let's lead back to Harbaugh. Um, Harbaugh is
But yeah, to reiterate one last time, no to Bill Belichick. Okay, continue.
yeah, absolutely no to Bill Belichick. No way. Harbaugh, it was announced earlier. Harbaugh had they were working on the 3-year deal, and I forget what it was. Somebody posted it. I forget what that news was.
Hmm.
I'll come up with it later, probably. Um, so with that in mind, last I heard, that 3-year deal is still being worked on.
What, to stay with Michigan?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eh, not
Oh,
surprised.
oh, he was planning on saying no to NFL teams. That's what it was.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. All right. I am going to go grab my food that I just ordered. So
Yeah, yeah.
you're right back.
But yeah, like as I've said before, just like I really feel we need a young head coach, you know, between late 30s, maybe early to mid 50s, someone that can really work with Bryce Young and really be a big part of helping him to evolve and work on areas that needs fixing. Cuz here's the thing, you know, we're gonna have to take some chances. We're gonna have to work on some things. Like I know a lot of people want to say, "Oh, get another quarterback, get another quarterback." Like I'm getting sick and tired of this whole quarterback carousel. We need to stick with somebody and we need to evolve them. We need to work with them and get them the pieces that they need to at least try to make a run. We can't keep going after quarterback over and over again. We've been doing that for the last 6, 7 years. Like, this is getting ridiculous. So, I understand how a lot of people feel about Bryce Young, but as of now, until something crazy happens, Bryce Young is our quarterback. So we might as well get used to it and hope that he can bounce back and have a better sophomore season. They get the help for him that's necessary so that he can bounce back and actually have a better year. That's all I can really say. And yeah, so just we're just gonna have to face it and get used to Bryce Young for a while because that's our guy. I mean, just telling it like it is. But do I think we'll win this game Sunday? Nah. Nah, nah. I don't see it. I just, it might be another high scoring one sided game, if you ask me. But only thing I can hope for is that, you know, Bryce does a little something, something. But we'll see. I'm not feeling very confident, but we shall see. I know they got the Chargers and Raiders are playing right now. I know my dad's probably watching that. He's a Raiders fan. But I know Pro Bowl talks are brewing. Um, Folks in the chat, do you think any Panther players deserve to be in the Pro Bowl? Let me know. Let me know what you think. To be honest, I mean, I don't. I honestly, to be honest, I don't think anybody on the Panthers has really done enough to warrant a Pro Bowl voting. To be honest with you, that's just me. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and have one player. I doubt it, but
As far as Pro Bowlers, I would say Derek Brown and
maybe,
Frankie
maybe.
Louvu.
As a matter of fact, Lock Poppy says Frankie Louvu maybe. Yeah, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, if they make it in, awesome. That'd be really awesome. Um, which I mean, Frankie Louvu's our leading tackler, and right behind him, of course, is Derek Brown. So I mean, Frankie Louvu's on his way to 100 total tackles, and Derek Brown, he's at 74. I mean, that's a lot for DT when you think about it.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, yeah, those might be the two that just might pull it off. And I mean, Thielen is almost at 1,000 yards receiving, but I don't see him getting in. But yeah, I think you're right, dude. I think Luvu and Brown probably are the two that have the best chance out of the entire team to get in. You know, so but Damien says, question. Speaking of Pro Bowl, does it really matter what player makes it? I mean, the whole Pro Bowl concept has been a joke for years and hardly anybody watches it. While the whole hardly anybody watches it may be true, it still celebrates the top players in the league from both conferences. That's really the whole idea about it. Because, I mean, you have to remember, even in the Pro Bowl game, they don't go at 100%. They don't go all the way. But, Damien, you gotta remember that it's honoring the top players at each position in the league. You know what I mean? So that's really the main thing that still serves the purpose of the Pro Bowl. It's honoring those top players. Because I mean, after all, why else would they be honored for the Pro Bowl? You know what I mean? And I think players should be able to be celebrated for their hard work. So that's the way I see it, and I think that they still do that. I know the format for the Pro Bowl game and and such has changed quite a bit, but still, the whole idea is honoring the best players in the league for that season. So I'm all for it. But I would say I would agree with you in that, hardly anybody watches it. Yes, I do agree with you on that. Would I say that the concept's a joke? Eh, I'm kind of half and half on that. Because I can understand how some folks get badly snubbed, but at the end of the day, like I feel like the meaning of the Pro Bowl that sticks out is just you make the Pro Bowl, you're being recognized as one of the best players in the league for that season for your position. You know what I mean? So that still has meaning to it. That still has meaning to it. But yeah, I do get the argument though. I do get your argument. Um Damien says, in my opinion, all pro honors the big players more than Pro Bowl. Though that's separate accolades though, bro. Separate accolades. That's all that is. That's a whole separate accolade. Like I said, Pro Bowl honors the best players for each conference. For each conference. Now, the All Pro honors might, might be bigger, but at the same time, it's still different, and they still have an effect in their own way. Otherwise, why have they been there ever since a long time ago? You know what I mean?
True.
I mean, the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl has been around since 1939. Like, or correction. The All Star game started in 1939. The official Pro Bowl was 1951. So Pro Bowl's been around since 1951. That ain't changing anytime soon.
True.
So that's the only thing. But yes, I would say the All Pro honors, might be in higher regard, but it's still a different accolade than the Pro Bowl. Not to
You know, I mean,
mention,
people have been arguing that maybe the Pro Bowl might be just an over glorified game because they don't take it seriously.
right, right,
It's just a way of making money for the league.
true. And
But
now,
at the same time, you got to think it's kind of a vacation for these guys too
yeah, I
that have
mean,
earned it throughout the league.
I don't see it as any less than like, if they were to do a flag football game or just a game where they don't have to go all out and just play for kicks. That's that
Right.
away from everything else. That's why at one
There are
point,
some people that want him to.
yeah,
And
that's
I'm
what,
like, nah, man, that's not what the Pro Bowl is.
yeah,
You're
that's
missing the point.
that's why it used to be the Pro Bowl happened after the Super Bowl, just like a little, hey, nice final hurrah,
Hmm.
just for fun sort of
Yeah, I don't
thing.
know why they put it like the week right before it, but okay.
Well, they do it the week before because I guess for players that are going to be playing in the Super Bowl, they didn't want them to, I guess, play in the Pro Bowl and like
And
risk
then get
injury, I guess. But
my thing is, my thing is, if they're putting people that are supposed to be in the Super Bowl in the Pro Bowl the week before, they're going to get injured.
right,
So they need to put it like after the Super Bowl. That way, those players can participate if they wish.
right.
so you don't have sub ins. Same with baseball, you got the sub ins, and it's kind of ridiculous. If they want to play after the Super Bowl, that's their choice. If they don't, they don't. Then
Right.
you can sub in.
Right. I agree. I can understand that. Hmm. But
Because now the players that are allowed to go to the Pro Bowl are not. They're going to the Super Bowl already. Are not eligible for Pro Bowl.
Damien says, I feel like the Pro Bowl should be eliminated now since football is going to be in the Olympics. I mean, it's basically going to be the same thing if you look at it. Whoa, when was that announced? Wait,
Whoa,
football's going to be in the Olympics? When the heck did
for
that get
real?
announced?
I didn't hear anything about that. That's awesome.
What?
Is that real? Somebody check on that. Is that real?
Wow. Wait, hold up. Oh,
That's great.
supposedly, wait, wait, where did you hear that, Damien?
Yeah,
I'm
same.
I'm I'm curious. I'm not saying you're wrong or I don't believe you, but where did you hear that?
Right.
Cuz I haven't heard anything about that. But see, wouldn't that be weird though? Like, why necessarily football and the Olympics though? I mean, American football, I mean, there's a reason why it's, more prominent in America. Yes, I understand they have games. They do NFL games in other countries like in Europe, but I don't think it
Mm-hmm.
really makes any sense to have American football in the Olympics. Like what?
For real though.
Damien says, yeah, flag football is now the Olympics. Bro, that is not the same
Flag
thing.
football, no.
That is not the
That's not
same
a sport.
thing.
That's not a sport. Why are they allowing that?
That Damien, that's not the same thing, bro.
No.
You want that to replace the Pro Bowl? Flag football? Nah, that's not the same thing,
Nah.
bro.
Nah.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's not the same thing. Come on now.
No.
No.
These guys are
No.
still hitting each other in Pro Bowl.
Nah, that should not eliminate the Pro Bowl and replace it with that? No. No.
Nope.
No, 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 no. No.
Absolutely not.
No. No, 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 no.
The players got to get rewarded somehow, man.
So what? They're gonna have NFL players like qualify for the U.S. flag football team and face other flag football teams across the world? Yeah. Oh, nah. I'm
Nah.
sorry. I can't. I mean, if they do it, that's great, but I can't take that seriously. I'm sorry. I
Me
can't
neither.
take that seriously.
Yeah. I would take it about as seriously as curling at this point.
Yeah. Olympic flag football? Nah. Nah.
And curling's been around for like how long? For real though. Boring to me.
Damien says Pro Bowl is like flag football. I mean, they pull the flag from the. Dude, you're missing the point. I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the honor behind the Pro Bowl. I just said
Right.
it celebrates the best players of each position in each conference. That's the whole point of the Pro Bowl. The game,
Right.
I'm not talking about the game. They don't even play full speed in the game. Like throw the game out of there,
Oh,
bro. I'm talking about the honor, which is something that has been there since 1951. That's what I'm talking about. I could care less about the game. Like you said, folks hardly
agreed.
watch it. Like I could care less about that. I'm talking about the honor, the honors, Pro Bowl honors.
Davis Cruz has 45-cent tickets for the Panthers games. Now that's crazy. Nah, I don't believe it's 45 cents. I believe the $5 to $10 one. For the cheap ones. But I mean, that's off of scalp seats, right?
Yeah, like third party site, something like
Either
that.
way, the point is Tepper is losing money, and he's finally starting to understand. You know, oh hey, I'm not getting X amount of money every week. So every decision Tepper has made, he's losing money.
Yep, this is true.
He has done that to himself. We didn't do it to him. He did that to himself
Yep,
by
that
putting a
that much is
terrible
true.
product on the field.
Oh, oh, Raiders just scored.
Harmon's finally starting to catch up with him in his bank account.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he tries to fix things this off season. It's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna probably take forever, or at least a couple of years.
I apologize if y'all hear me eating in the background. I'm hungry.
Oh, I haven't heard anything. You good? But I guess we might as well go ahead and get the score prediction out of the way. I mean, I'm just gonna say 20.
Um,
I'm just gonna say 21-7 Falcons.
right. Oh, Lock Poppy has some things for us to check out. They're video clips apparently.
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to do the videos
They're
because
not of the game. They're of
if it's a
Cam Newton. Cam Newton specifically.
okay, if it's official footage, then
No, it's not official footage. It's Cam Newton.
okay. What is this? Him talking about the other quarterbacks?
I'm not sure which one it is,
Oh, okay.
but I was sent these, so
Also, Matt Rook comes into a situation where that was a interesting dynamic too. That I was like, yo, by the time I got there, right? Because I come back and I'm like, yo, I'm doing a lot of patchwork. Like, what the fuck? No, this ain't right. This ain't that. And I'm
Hey,
like,
turn yours up because it can actually I can hear yours through mine. So yeah, turn
share.
yours up if you can.
okay. If I can,
Yeah.
it's already at full volume.
Oh, okay, okay. No
I'll
problem.
just go on my Facebook page, and you'll find them on there.
Okay.
There should be two links. They're
Okay.
off of Twitter.
Okay. Let's see. Uh, and this was from
Are
Lock
we going with
Poppy.
Tygate or are we going with uh the I'm coaching the coach one? Are we starting with that one?
Like, where were these posted? I'm on the Facebook page.
Scroll down.
Okay.
You'll see them.
Oh, the one with Cam talking to
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Talking about Matt Rule. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can play that.
I can send you those 2 links. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me 1 moment.
Here, let me grab a toothpick right quick.
Gotta put them on a sandwich. And I'll send them to you.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, you got both of them?
Let me see. You just messaged me?
Let me see. Yeah, boom. There's this one.
Okay.
And then there's this one. I don't know which one you want to start with first. I don't know what order they're in, so.
Okay. I'll just go based on what you sent me first.
Okay, so we're doing the I'm coaching the coach, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me put that on my screen.
Okay.
There we go. That way people can see it. All right. And we'll go with this first video.
Alrighty.
Check this out. Second story. So
where that was a also Matt Rule comes into a situation where that was an interesting dynamic too. That I'm like, yo, by the time I got there, right? Because I come back and I'm like, yo, I'm doing a lot of patchwork. Like, what the fuck? No, this ain't right. This ain't that. And I'm like, I'm coaching the coach.
Even at the end of the year, when you and Sam weren't even sure who was going to play in the game.
Bro, that's another story that I'm like, yo, Coach Rule, you can't do this bullshit, bro. Matter of fact, check this out. Second story. So for that 2020, I think that season that I came back. So it was almost like a high school kind of petty moment where, no, bro, I'm starting. Oh, bro, I'm starting. And I said, you know what? Fuck that. I ain't gonna keep going back and forth with you, Sam, because that's arguing like that is honestly, respectfully beneath me. Right? Like, bro, we're teammates.
It's also neither of your choices who's starting. That's told by the coach.
You shouldn't be put in that position. I shouldn't be put in that position. I said, you know what? Hey, Coach Rule. Yo, what's going on? Are you still in the building? Yes. Hey, can you come down and talk to us real quick? We had that conversation. And that was Matt Rule's first time being held accountable to tell Sam how he really felt about him. And as well as Matt Rule telling Sam and Cam
laying down
really
the
felt
gauntlet
about both of our situations. Because I told Sam, I said, Sam, respectfully, if you was doing your job, I would have never been here, bro. Right?
He's right also, too.
I was 100% right. Football. So the fact that Sam, respectfully, if you was doing your job, I would have never been here, bro.
Oh.
Right? But also, I wasn't playing my best football. So the fact that I wasn't playing my best football, that put you in a position where you felt like, yo, I still am the starter. So I'm not above any type of accountability that's happening here. But the moral of the story is coaches have to also be held to a standard that players are as well. And Matt Rule was in over his head as far as how to operate an effective and efficient NFL locker room.
Wow. Okay, so that was the first clip, and oof.
My goodness, Cam is laying down the gauntlet.
Okay, now I'm gonna play this second one on here.
And he didn't necessarily know it.
Started right now.
And he didn't necessarily know it. So that spurred off to a situation where I was like, Coach Rule, bro, I would appreciate if we would meet every week. So I'll tell you the dynamic of the locker room, tell you what guys thinking and things like that. Because when I went to New England, it was like a what the fuck moment, right? Like Bill Belichick is so tapped into his team. He knows everything about it. He knows who's having girl issues. He knows whose girl is pregnant. He knows whose side girl is out of pocket. He knows how much ticket sales is happening. He knows like it's just wowing. He does that because he's tapped into the core landmark players who he respects. Mm-hmm. And he just doesn't have team captains just to have team captains. His team captains report the news back to him and say, Coach, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, Coach. I don't think we should practice this week. Or not practice this week, but practice today, man. Guys are sore, blah, 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 blah. That's not to say that he always agrees with it, but he still says that's something to consider. And then we're going to do it how I advise the team to do it. Mm-hmm. Matt Rule was not like that. And he just felt like they will get it. And I'm like, no, bro, that ain't how you do it. So to the situation about C-Mac, if he knew that and had a coach that could really coach the star and not just him, I mean, I don't think the game in my lifetime will see another C-Mac.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
Several good points there. Notice how he said that Belichick was so tapped in to that team that he understood every inch of it, every bit of what was going on. We need a head coach like that.
Yeah.
Point blank, we need a head coach like that. I need somebody besides Bill Belichick that could do that. To come into the Carolina Panthers and absolutely understands what everybody's doing, what we're supposed to be doing, offers suggestions, and then does it his way.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with that.
So I like where Cam is at with this one. I see his arguments for Bill Belichick. But the thing is, like, you know who Bill Belichick is. The zebra is not going to change his stripes. He's still a cheater.
Right. But man, that was quite crazy. Cam, like, respectfully, if you were doing your job, I would never been here, bro. Like, wow.
Max.
I mean,
like, dang, man.
But I
Hold
mean,
him out.
That's just him exposing that Matt Rule just wasn't tapped in with his players.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was interesting to listen to. We got more.
And it serves as another reminder that folks have to keep in mind. When we had Cam, we had an identity. We had a culture. The only other time where we had that when Cam wasn't here was recently when we had Steve Wilks.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, like, hate Cam all y'all want, hate Steve Wilks all y'all want. But we had an identity and we had an established culture when they were with this franchise. Let's just keep it real.
Facts.
So now, should we do the other clips? The other four. All right.
Let's start with this top left one.
All right.
Talk to me about
ready.
Talk to me about when you didn't wear a tie to the game.
Wait, which one did you pick?
Top left.
Top left. Okay.
Talk to me about when you didn't wear a tie to the game and they didn't let you start the game. Go in depth too, because Shula went in depth, but I need it from your side.
Listen, my own dad, who I am close with, couldn't even believe. He said, boy, you didn't even start the game because you ain't wear a tie. I said, Pop, it was because of tie.
A tie.
No, bro, you was late for me. I said, no, Pop, anybody who knows me know, bro, I'm the ultimate pro. It wasn't that. This is the situation. We played Oakland Raiders. They were still Oakland at the time. Mm-hmm. And then we also had another game following up with Seattle Seahawks. That week, we had to stay on the West Coast instead of traveling back to Carolina. So we had to pack in advance. Cool. So the Oakland game, I didn't wear a tie. That's what people didn't know. It wasn't even mentioned. It was just like, oh, Cam walking in, blah. I think I wore like a turtleneck or something. I wore 2 turtlenecks back to back, right? So boom, I wore a turtleneck for the Oakland game.
true.
Then I followed it up with a turtleneck for
Right.
the Seattle game. So all of a sudden, this is where, bus 1, bus 2, bus
That's
3 leaves.
interesting.
Well, in this situation, we was going to travel all together to travel up to a closer hotel towards Seattle.
People have always been so concerned with how they dressed and everything.
As I'm going downstairs to kind of get some food to get on the team bus, Rivera comes in and was like, "Where's your tie?" I said, "What you mean, where's my tie? I got a turtleneck on." I wanted to say, "I got a turtleneck on, jackass." What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But my relationship with Coach Rivera, this is when I knew it was out of his hands. When he came to me, one thing about Coach Rivera, he allows his players to be his players.
Interesting. I mean, the whole thing with the tie was freaking stupid, but it wasn't really Rivera, but was a league thing, and he had no choice but to enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
True.
That is so sad.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Mm.
That is sad. A freaking tie. Wow. Do we want to do top right or bottom left?
Top right.
All right, top right. Ready? In 3, 2, 1.
That's why I was so successful, because he never handicapped me. Marty Herney, David Gettleman to a degree never handicapped me. Mike Shula never handicapped me. Ken Dorsey never handicapped me. They was just like, bro, whatever you need, boom. All of a sudden, Coach Rivera, speaking a tone that I never heard from him, he said, "Where's your tie?" I said, "Coach, I ain't got no tie." Cool, he leaves. I'm just going back to get my food, boom. Comes back down to eat. He says, if you don't have a tie, I think it was something like, you're not going to play. It was like, if you don't have a tie, you're not going to try. It was something bogus. I said, "Coach, I don't have a tie, bro. Like, this is a turtleneck. Like,
You want me to put it over?
Yeah,
the
you're not wearing a
Coach?
jersey or a
It
hoodie.
would have been more disrespectful if I would have put it over the turtleneck, obviously mocking him. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I'm like, "Coach, I ain't got no tie. Straight up. I ain't, you know what I mean? Whatever." So then this is when Coach Shula gets involved. Now I'm walking to the bus. So Shula comes in and he asked the same redundant question, like, "Where's your tie?" I'm like, "Man, Coach, first off, this is what I don't appreciate. If y'all wanted the point of emphasis to be wearing a tie on traveling days, y'all would have said something to me before Oakland. But y'all wasn't paying attention about that. Y'all think we're losing these games because Cam Newton is wearing a fucking a turtleneck to a game? Like, what are we, like, we're not keeping the main thing the main thing.
What are we doing?
But what are we doing? Right? So then I asked the question, I said, you think Tom Brady? You think Peyton Manning? You think Drew Brees? You think Matt Ryan? Do you think Phillip Rivers? You think these people have these conversations with the fucking head coach and GM and quarterback coach before a game to talk about a fucking tie? And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, I'm like, yo, I can see
this is your Allen Iverson moment.
Something derogatory to everybody else. I'm like, bro, I had a trench coat, some slacks, and a turtleneck, and obviously a hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we're getting distracted by all this
over a tie. Over a tie.
He knows better than anybody about, we're getting distracted.
Yeah.
Over stupid stuff. What are we doing? I agree with Cam on this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Shouldn't the focus be on winning games, not on what people are wearing?
And just goes to show, okay, they enforce that. What happens? First play of the game, Derek Anderson throws a pick. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Just ugh. Okay. Bottom left next.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
And I had to really discern the situation. I was like, it never came from Coach Rivera. It was Dave Gettleman. And Dave always wanted it to be his way or the highway. Backstory to that. We had a team meeting before the 2015 Super Bowl run going to San Jose, California. That's where we were staying for the Super Bowl. We met as a team, cool, captains, whatever. The captains went to Dave Gettleman and said, hey, Mr. Gettleman, I don't think we want to wear suit and ties. We just want to be comfortable. This guy was like, man, nah, fuck that. We did it over here like this in the Giants, so y'all gonna do the suit and tie thing too.
Oh
Dictatorship, right? So I'm like, bro, you got your team. You ain't catching no passes. You ain't preparing for the game. You ain't doing all this stuff. So this is an opportunity to throw your team a bone when it's just like, yo, bro, you don't really give a fuck about us, right? So then he says, y'all gonna wear suits to the 2015. So that's where I was really making a mockery when I was wearing those Versace pants that went viral. It was like, man, bro, it's a backstory behind everything. Back to the initial story. So it was coming from Dave. Dave was really like the person that was like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing it? He thinks he's bigger than a team. Why we don't really need this antics. Cool. So Coach Rivera, when we got on the plane, he came to me for the final time. He said, if you don't have a tie, you're not going to play. I said,
you said, try me.
I said, Coach, respectfully, you're going to have to just do what you're going to have to do. And I hate that it came down to this, but it's a tie, right? Mm-hmm. So I hate that it comes down to this, but you got to make the decision that you have to make.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You're about to play the biggest game of the year, and you're more worried about a tie than winning a trophy.
A freaking tie.
Mr. Gettleman, can we just take a moment here? What the heck? What in the actual heck is going through your brain? We're not trying to make a fashion statement. We're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Seriously.
Wow.
It's like, did you forget that your team made it to the Super Bowl on a 15-1 record? And you're caring about a freaking tie? Oh, man.
I get that the NFL is a business. I get that. But is there an NFL rule saying you have to wear a tie?
Not that I know of.
Are we walking into a big corporate office? No, we're not. We're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Seriously.
Now I get people made a big deal out of his, clothes and all that. But I mean, really, is that the reason people really love Cam? Because if that's the reason you actually love Cam and you didn't give a flip about the game itself, then why are you even a fan of him?
Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question.
Why are you even a fan of him? Just for his personality? There's personalities out there all over the world. Go idolize them. Cam's out here trying to win a Super Bowl, doggone it. Show the man some respect. All right, last clip.
All right, last clip. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Fast forward to the game. I didn't start. So it was Sunday night football,
Yeah.
right?
Prime time.
And the cameras were on me. It was like, you know how the quarterback runs out, like, and Cam Newton, like you have your own little silhouette, and everybody like, boom, the success and the demise of the Panthers is going to be predicated off of these three things type shit. We all see it happen. Bro, the funniest thing, the camera guy was like looking at me, and he's looking at the clock. He was like, I don't think Cam's like real shit. So I'm looking at him like,
You're right. You put your earpiece in. Yeah.
Derek Anderson runs out there. And I fucking love DA. DA was the guy that was all, it's like, well, are we really talking about a tie? So Derek runs out there. Long story short, the first play of the game, he throws a pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then everybody's now looking at Coach Rivera, and Coach Rivera's like, yo, like we made this shit a bigger distraction on what it is. He's looking at Dave Gettleman, but Dave Gettleman could hide. They never identified the general manager with situations like this, and that's why I would start holding upper management accountable.
Yeah.
Because that was a situation, that was a Dave Gettleman move, and Dave Gettleman used his power to manipulate Coach Rivera, and Coach Rivera used his power to manipulate Shula. Shula told me, and now when it backfired in everybody's face, Cam gets the brunt of the situation, or Coach Rivera, but the person who started this shit never gets identified as that person.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow. That was tough to swallow right there.
I have to imagine, like, Dave Gettleman, he had to have been eating the giant slice of crow. He had to have been.
Yep.
Like, wow.
There you have it, folks. He said it. He said it. Derek Anderson came out and threw a pick.
I remember that game, too. I remember that play.
Oh, my gosh. Yikes.
And yet, folks want to be like, see, this is all your fault, Cam. When in reality, it was Mr. Gettleman's. Over a freaking tie.
Oh, my goodness.
I guess we should start wearing ties from now on whenever we get on live stream.
I guess so. My goodness. Like, this is getting absurd.
But, dude, that's pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
It's really sad how many little things that happened that really did injustice on Cam Newton. It's sad. It's really sad. But just, oh man.
While we're talking about Dave Gettleman, I was sent a clip on Steve Smith wanted to leave Carolina despite the Panthers acquiring Cam Newton. So while we're on this subject, I'm going to send that video to you as well. This is Stephen A. that actually got involved with this one.
Oh, Stephen A. Smith, gotcha.
Yeah. This is interesting. There you go. Now, before we start this, there's a huge there was a huge thing about Steve Smith getting kicked out of Carolina and all that, and people were like, "Oh yeah, let's blame Dave Gettleman. Let's blame Dave Gettleman." When in reality, it's Steve Smith that wanted to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And this clip will pretty much prove that to you. So I want y'all to listen to this and get a taste for it before we I got two other pieces of interesting NFL news too after this.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
Let me put it up on screen for everybody. And not that one. I want capture.
Okay.
This one. All right, and get rid of those two. Where is it? Where is it? One I brought it up a second ago. Oh, there it is. All right, full screen attention. Let's do this.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Lion's share of your career with Carolina, it did not end the way you wanted it to end. Why
Actually, it did.
You wanted to leave Carolina?
Yeah, it did.
Why?
Because it was time. I'm a very curious person. I was always interested in wondering what is it like
To be somewhere else.
to be somewhere else? And so
Had you gotten comfortable in Carolina?
No, I wasn't comfortable. We was losing. No, I wasn't comfortable.
No, but I'm saying you knew the system, you knew everybody, you knew the coaches, you knew everybody, you knew, hey,
I was ready to go. I had asked for.
Bro, you had just got Cam.
I know. I had asked for a release.
You had just got Cam. That was the best quarterback that you was going.
You are correct. He was the best quarterback I ever played with.
And you wanted to leave that.
Because it was our record that was the issue. My clock, my championship clock was going on.
Right.
And so I wanted to go to I just wanted to go to a different place. And so I had, before I was released that year, I had talked to general manager of Jacksonville Jaguars. He was the 49ers coach. He was the 49ers general. I talked to Trent Balkin about a release, about me going there, but I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play for the 49ers. And so my agent had worked out another deal. I actually had Under Armour working on a new color scheme because we had backdoored a deal, but the Panthers at that time had talked to another team, and so they gave me permission to talk with the 49ers, and I decided to stay. So I already knew I was leaving, but again, people thought I was unable to keep my mouth closed. I had conjured up, facilitated, and started to play out a whole different team throughout that season. And then when I knew I was going to get released, I kept it to myself and just kind of waited.
Interesting.
I mean, sorry about that.
Yeah, I think that's the end of the video.
Well,
Skipping through. Yep, that's the end of it.
I mean, well, he's
isn't it?
He's speaking his truth. I mean, I could understand the many different thoughts that could be going through our heads about, after hearing that, but I mean, he spoke his truth. It's kind of
there
a
was
bummer.
so much hate going towards Gettleman because of the fact that, we released Steve Smith. No, Steve Smith decided he wanted to leave himself.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that people know this.
It was quite a shock. It was definitely quite a shock.
So you can't hold that against Dave Gettleman anymore.
Right.
All the Gettleman haters, y'all can stop that one. That was their biggest chip on their shoulder, and their biggest argument was Steve Smith during that time period.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hear nothing but Steve Smith got released. Steve Smith got released. Okay, well, what else did Dave Gettleman do that was bad? Crickets.
Yeah.
You hear the same stuff about Scott Fitterer now that you heard about Dave Gettleman. Oh, they picked the wrong players. Well, here's the thing. You hire the wrong head coach, you're going to get the wrong players drafted. That's how GMs work. They pick up the players that you suggest as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't have a system like Frank Wright didn't have a system, you're going to get garbage players. Or in our case, an Iowa to Misfit Toys. And you expect that to work? No, man. No. You're basically trying to put together a Madden roster with broken pieces all over the league that were really, really talented. And you, with 6 different systems, you thought that was going to work. No. So, with Dave Gettleman, and now is my chance to actually defend this guy, you know, for what he's been doing during that time period. Yes, he did have issues connecting with the players. Yes, the contracts were very, very low. But here's the thing with the contracts. I'm not going to defend his relations with the players, but I will defend how he does his contracts. And I think I got an idea of how he's doing it. Because when you are a player expecting a bigger contract, like a really big contract, and you get a small one, you're going to play for a bigger contract, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's how that works. So he left these guys wanting a bigger contract, and they never got it. So in that case, they're always going to stay hungry. Well, what does that hunger lead to? It leads to them playing better. It leads to them balling out on the field because they're always wanting more. So in a way, it's kind of genius. I kind of like it. You know, you're fooling them, but you're fooling them for a good reason. And as far as the players that he picked up in these drafts, he was a positional draft picker. Now, on paper, they're not going to look like much. But if you take a look at these guys with the eye test, that tells a totally different story. Because we put all of that together on a cheap budget while getting us out of the red. That was Marty Herning.
Right.
And still managed a 15-1 record. Why? Because we had a staff that actually knew what they were doing. A set of players that were fully hungry. We had depth out the wazoo at every position, which was magical, by the way. That was probably one of the best rosters I've ever seen created in the NFL. I dare say it. We had one of the best teams in the NFL ever. We could go up against some of the better ones out there that were historical and probably battle them out all 4 quarters. You know?
Yeah.
As much as the league had changed over the years, I believe that's a true statement. So, with that in mind, you're looking at a roster on paper that just looked average at best. The wide receiver core looked average. You know, your defensive players looked average, except for the Pro Bowlers. You know, the legends, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, all of them. What we
Right.
did was we turned all of these guys into household names. Everybody knew who they were once we get to the Super Bowl. Everybody. Even Brenton Bursett.
Oh
Everybody knew
yeah.
his name. You know, everybody down the 53-man roster, everybody knew who they were. That has never happened in Panthers history. Not even in 04 and 05. So when you really look at the system that he was running, it was a stepladder system. You know, first, you got to get your team assembled. Secondly, you got to try to have a winning record and win the division. Then, next year, you win the division again. You take that step forward. You win a playoff game. Next step forward, you win 2 playoff games. Next year, 3 playoff games, and you're in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Then you win the Super Bowl, and then you win it twice in a row the year after. That's the stepladder process that he was using. And what it required was, yes, you had to get rid of some veterans to bring in the new talent, but that new talent would be just as hungry as the veterans were.
Right.
Yeah, you got Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Greg Olsen. So yes, I understood what was required. Yes, it sucked, but it was required. You know, because these guys were getting too old. You couldn't keep them on the roster. But if you wanted to keep winning and keep doing what Bill Belichick was doing, you got to keep up with him at that time in order to stay, you know, in order to get to where he was. So this is what it required. And Steve Smith was just, that was him making that choice, apparently,
Yeah.
because his championship clock was going off. So, and at the time, I thought that we went to the Super Bowl a year early, according to that schedule plan.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I thought 2016 was going to be it. I didn't expect us to get to the Super Bowl in 2015. I expected us to get, you know, make an appearance in the Super Bowl, but not win it until 16. So we were playing our best in 15. And I thought maybe this might be the year we take that extra leap, 2 steps forward. You know what I
Right.
mean? And not 2 steps back. I thought maybe this might be it because of the way we dominated Arizona, but we peaked too early. That's the problem. We peaked too early. If we had saved some of that for the Super Bowl and we played exactly like we've been playing up until that point, I thought maybe we might have a trophy in Charlotte.
Yeah, which is fair. Which is fair.
Then Mr. Richardson decides, and this is all him, because he had to. This is when those allegations started coming out
Oh
about
yeah.
him. He had to
Oh.
cover. He was CYA, cover your, you know what.
Yeah.
So, who does he fire? He fires the worst possible person he could fire, Gettleman,
Yep.
who was setting him up for success, his team up for success. Everything started to go downhill from there. I thought if we just had one more year with Gettleman and this crew, where he just had one more offseason to fix all of those very, very small holes. And you noticed every single year those weaknesses got smaller and smaller and smaller until it was down to 2. Until
Yeah.
it was down
Mm-hmm.
to 1. We were this close. And you decide you're going to fire Dave Gettleman. Because Mr. Richardson got fed up with the fact that we're tossing away all of these veterans because he didn't like the system that we were running. He got impatient.
It's an interesting breakdown.
And that's how I feel about Dave Gettleman there. I'm taking this opportunity to say this publicly now because I got so much hate for these opinions back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But now that this has come out about Steve Smith, now I'm taking my leap of faith here.
Understandable.
And I'm throwing it out there. Because I want people to understand Dave Gettleman's method. It's brilliant. It absolutely is brilliant when you really look at it in the full picture of it. But we got impatient. And everything went and hit the fan from that point on. We slowly started degrading. The team started breaking down piece by piece. People started retiring until you have what you have now. And then we hired 2 horrible head coaches on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq is the only thing left of that Super Bowl team. I want people to understand this.
Yep, this is true.
He's the only piece.
Well, I guess
left.
Shaq and J.J. Jansen, but I mean,
Yeah, J.J. Jansen. But technically, J.J. Jansen was special teams, and that really doesn't even count.
Right, when you think about it.
But as far as playmakers, Shaq is the last one.
Yes.
Now you see the full picture of what's going on here, and it could still get worse.
Yeah.
This is where we're at now. This is how far we have fallen from grace. When you look at it year by year by year, it is incredibly depressing.
Yeah, that much is true.
If you were a Gettleman supporter, it's horrendous. I literally broke down, and I was so angry that day when we fired Dave Gettleman because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I warned people, if you fire this man, if you let him go, this is where we're going. And I was right. Sometimes it sucks being right as a Panthers fan in my position. And on this one, it horribly sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't like playing that card, but I do have a very, very good record on being right about this team. I'm very in tune with it. And as soon as I saw that, I was just like, this franchise is screwed. We just screwed ourselves. We don't even know how much we screwed ourselves. And now, in hindsight, and this is what I keep telling people, we need to stop being a hindsight team and start being a proactive team instead. Stop looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
But on this one, we have no choice because this is something that needed to be out there.
Right.
It needed to be discussed. It needed to be talked about. And the fact that now it's out there and now that people see the full picture of what's going on, it just makes things so much more depressing. And I'm sorry to do this to people, but y'all needed to see this. We needed to understand how far we've fallen in order to get back up.
Yeah. Totally understandable.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. But we will see the light and we will get out of this eventually. We just got to keep pounding through it.
Yep, that's the motto. That is the motto. But
so the interesting information that I was given, actually there's 3 pieces of news. We're actually going to have an NFL season game played in the arena in Brazil.
Yes, I did remember hearing about that.
Yep. Let me see about the rest. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. My alarm went off, but I'll let you do the pieces of information before I get off here.
Yeah, and I'll continue streaming afterwards.
Yeah, so folks, be sure to continue watching. Head over to Keep Pounding, Corey's channel on YouTube and Facebook page to continue along. Alrighty.
That piece of information was let's see. Oh, the ex-Jags employee was accused of stealing over $22 million. That came through ESPN.
$22 million.
Yep. How wild is that, huh? Yikes. Let me see. The last one. What was it? I think it was Carl that sent it to me. Oh, there was a funny video that I sent Carl saying Tom Brady felt disrespected by Ndamukong Suh. That was pretty funny.
Why? Why did he feel that way?
Because he would always tell people, yeah, stay out of my backfield, stay out of my backfield. Because some of these hits hurt. So Sue was just like, I am not your friend.
I mean, is he wrong for saying that?
He's not wrong at all for that. I mean, they use some colorful language there, but
Yeah.
my point is, he was just like, I am not your friend, Tom.
I mean, hey.
Like,
The way I've always looked at it as in the game, I play to win. Afterwards, we can be cool, but during the game, it's a whole different story.
facts. That's the type of player I would be too.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll shake hands before and after the game, but during that game, yeah, we're not friends.
Yeah. So my final thoughts are, with this Atlanta game coming up, I mean, let's just play the players that we can play. Let's evaluate them. Let's find out who these guys are, and I look forward to doing these draft streams with you guys. I'll be doing one probably either tomorrow or Saturday, where we just discuss all the different draft picks and getting to know them. So again, name those players in the pin post on my Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps. You'll see it in the pin group. Comment the name of the player, the college they come from, the position they play, and why you like them. And we'll do a draft stream on that either Friday or Saturday on my channel. I'll have both Facebook and YouTube channels open, so you guys will be able to comment on both. But really, it really comes down to this: are we really trying to just survive the season, or are we just trying to keep as many players as we can? My point right now is let's keep as many players as we can keep. I know some of them are going to want to leave after they realize that Chris is not going to get the job.
Right.
And Ajaro's not going to get the job. And I can't say I blame them, but let's see how many of these guys we can keep. This Atlanta game will be a very, very good evaluation test for a lot of these players. And it's a division game, of course, and it's worth paying attention to, I think. So let's try to stay healthy, and let's try to get through this.
Agreed. Definitely agree. And we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. And
Also, if you have a name for our panel, me, Mr. Carolina, and Blitz, please suggest it in the comments or the chat.
yes, please do. We are open to all sorts of ideas. But
Looking forward to the black helmets, man.
indeed,
Gonna be
yes,
fun.
those helmets are freaking awesome. And yeah, please beat the Dirty Birds. Just beat the freaking Dirty Birds. Give me something to
Please.
feel good about this Sunday. But
Please at least
everybody,
put up something against them.
be sure to head on over to Corey's channel. Keep pounding on YouTube and on Facebook as well to continue with the festivities. I want to thank
We're only
everybody.
streaming on YouTube this time.
Gotcha.
So it's keep pounding 3869 when you're searching it on Google.
There you go. And
Go ahead and sub so you don't lose it.
yes, yeah, definitely that is the key to do that. But for those that came on to my channel, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you to all the chatters, all those watching. Um, let's keep pounding and let's continue pushing forward. And Corey, it's your hands to finish strong tonight.
Keep pounding.
Alrighty, y'all head on over to there. I will see y'all. I'm Blitzball Champ. I will see y'all in the next live stream, which should be Sunday, because we got the Sunday game. But I will see y'all then. Keep it going.